two. There we go. Week 2 of self-mastery. And I want to remind you that most of the problems that you're experiencing in your life are self-inflicted, or they're coming from you, the habits that you have and the way that you are automatically moving through the world on default. But this self-mastery program is an opportunity for you to look at yourself, be the observer of yourself without judgment, without criticism, because why? That shame cycle is going to keep you stuck and set you back way, way back. And we're not going to do that, because you're really just this soul, this spirit, this higher version of yourself having a human experience. And oftentimes we like to identify who we are with our mind or our bodies, but that's not true. You are a being that has 4 bodies, and we will focus a lot in self-mastery on all 4 bodies. You're a physical body, you have a mental body, you have an emotional body, and you have a spiritual body. And when you can start to think of yourself in all 4 bodies, you can look and say, gosh, I'm feeling a certain way today. Okay, well, that's a fourth of me. That's just what I'm feeling. It's not really who I am. I don't have to identify with that feeling, but I can allow myself to feel the feeling. Or you can witness and notice your thoughts and go, whoa, I am all in my head right now, but I'm not that. It's just a thought, and how to navigate through it. So congratulations for being here and saying yes to self-mastery, because again, this is a mastery class for a reason. And it's a combination of a lot of practice and commitment to yourself daily, daily, daily. And the goal here is just, like I said before, micro shifts in behavior and consistency. And when you start doing that, you're going to notice, you probably won't notice big changes in your life all at once, but you'll look back and you'll go, wow, I'm consistently feeling better, or wow, I'm less reactive than I was before, or wow, I'm able to wake up like Zadra did this morning and choose to look in the mirror at myself and to say something positive. And it's those little things. And again, as we dive into the physical part of self-mastery today, a lot of this stuff is going to be stuff that you've heard before. And like I said before, it's not rocket science, but it's a choice. It's choosing into it, and it's understanding why the physical vessel is so important for you to take care of, because it is what houses your spiritual being. And if you want to get tapped into your intuition, if you want to hear what you get to say to yourself and turn down the volume on the outside noise, you have got to take care of your physical vessel. And there are layers to that we're going to talk about. But before we go there, I'm going to invite you to pause what you're doing. Finish that protein. I think that you're drinking, Rob. Way to go. High five. That's part of your boom. That's part of your self-mastery blueprint, which I love. Get it? Congratulations. Way to go. But if you've got a pen or anything in your hand, I just invite you to let go of it. If you're standing up, great. If you're sitting down, great. But just see if you can put both of your feet on the floor. See if you can ground. Feel your feet on the floor and bring your attention to your feet and feel connected, feel grounded, feel held. Remember that you're not alone. A lot of times we think that we're moving through this world solo. I want you to remember that you've got this energy of the earth, Mother Earth, here to just gravity, even gravity, here to sustain you, to hold you down, to ground you. So feel the gravity. Feel your feet planted on the earth. Close your eyes if you haven't already closed your eyes. Drop your shoulders away from your ears and just take a big, deep breath in, your biggest inhale of the day. See if you can expand your ribs and lungs, your back body. And when you exhale, I want you to exhale all the air out as though you're getting rid of everything from last night, everything from this morning, anything that you think you need to be doing or any place you need to be. And do that inhale again if you haven't already. We're going to take 3 big breaths, inhaling expanding the ribs, expanding the lungs, making space in your body. And when you exhale, I want you to squeeze it all out. Like when you get to the end of the exhale, just a little bit more. And again, that inhale, expanding your back body. Think about the back of your ribs, not just the front and your belly, and just making room, making space. Bring in new oxygen into your brain. Your brain is deprived of oxygen when you sleep. Now you can start to breathe normally with your eyes closed. I want you to get pretty still and do a body scan. Just notice your physical body from your head, your neck, your shoulders, your chest, and your belly, your legs all the way down. Just notice your physical body. Feel the sensation of your physical body. And on a scale of 0 to 10, I want you to check in. A 0 would be you've got some pain you're noticing. It's hard to actually even be aware and conscious and listening right now because there's some throbbing pain or some hurting pain. Maybe you're feeling like you need to adjust a lot. That would be closer to a 0. And then if you're at a 10, there's no pain. You're not feeling any pain in your body. It's feeling really light. Maybe it feels really good. Maybe you've exercised or moved your body or stretched this morning. But I want you to just notice on a scale of 0 to 10, where do you feel physically? How does your body feel physically? Just checking in, just noticing. No judgment here. We're just getting a baseline so we know where we're going. Now, I want you to bring your attention to your mind. Bring all your attention to your mind and notice your thoughts, how fast they're moving, how much is going on between your two ears. Or maybe you don't have racing thoughts, but it's really quiet. Maybe you feel really calm in your mind. Maybe you feel really distracted. You feel like you need to be somewhere else doing something else. This feels like a waste of time. Just notice what's going on in your mind. And on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 would be racing thoughts, a lot going on, hard to settle the mind. And a 10 would be no thoughts, like clouds just drifting by. It's really easy for you to be present here in the moment. On a scale of 0 to 10, what's happening in your mind? Now bring your attention to your emotions. Oftentimes you can connect with your heart. If it feels good to put your right hand on your heart, you're welcome to, or just sense your emotions, your feelings. What's going on? How are you feeling today? And again, there's no judgment on the actual emotion, whether it feels positive or negative in your mind. They're just sensations, they're just feelings. On a scale of 0 to 10, 0 would be that you're not really feeling anything at all, kind of neutral, not feeling. Maybe it's because your mind is so busy. But notice emotionally on a scale of 0 to 10, how are you feeling emotionally? 0, not feeling at all. 10 would be like you got a lot going on. It's a lot, you're feeling a lot. Maybe tears are welling up in your eyes. Maybe you're feeling anxious, like I got to hurry up and get off this call. I got 50 things I got to do. Just notice what's happening in your body emotionally. How much are you feeling? 10 is a lot. You're feeling a lot. 0, not a lot. And now I want you to connect with your soul. Okay, this is your spiritual body. It's within, it's quiet. It's the most quiet of the 4 bodies. You have to really tune in. So I want you to tune in to your spiritual body and see if you can be still and quiet. See if you can connect. And if you're having a hard time connecting, you feel like you can't really hear anything or you're turned off, maybe disconnected, that would be a 0. And a 10 would be that your intuition's pretty loud, that you're maybe even feeling like you frequently are having an internal dialogue with yourself, really connected to your intuition. And again, there's no judgment here. We're just checking in to see where you are. So on a scale of 0 to 10, how are you feeling, connected or disconnected from your spiritual body? 10, very connected. 0, not so much. And the last pillar, I want you to think about your relationships, starting with your relationship with yourself, the most important relationship you have. The only relationship that you'll have consistently throughout your whole life is the one you have with yourself. It's you and you, ultimately. So think about the relationship with yourself. How connected or disconnected are you with yourself? You can also think about the people that live in your home, your family. How connected or disconnected? Maybe relationships with friends, work. A 0 would be pretty disconnected. Maybe you're in a phase of hibernation, kind of a recluse. That would be a 0. And a 10 would be that you're feeling really connected. You're nourished by your relationships, inspired. Just notice on a scale of 0 to 10, how connected or disconnected are you socially? Social. And when you're ready, I want you to blink open your eyes and I just want you to write down the numbers. We're going to start with physical. And I'll type these in the chat, but I'm also going to remind you. So you're going to start with physical, and then you're going to go mental. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and social. And just, this is just your check-in. How do you know where you're going if you don't know where you start, where you're starting from? So just notice on a scale of 0 to 10, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and socially. What's your number? Where are you? We're tracking this every week. So hopefully you've got a notebook or you've got something that you're tracking this with so that you can kind of start to see patterns, can start to see, what's going on in my life this week. You can journal about it. Again, you are the researcher, you are the investigator of you. You are learning all things about you in self-mastery. Your behaviors, what you think about, when you feel a lot, when you don't, what do you do? Thank you for sharing, Kristen, in the chat. So what are your numbers? And I'd like to hear, or just show me a raise of hand when you've got those written. And then all I need from you is for you to focus on your high. Your number 1 for now. Let's celebrate some wins. Your brain loves a win, loves a win. We love wins. Let's celebrate. So when you're ready, if you want to unmute yourself, I'd like to hear your win and tell us about it. And if you've got some that are tied, I would, as your high or your win, I'd invite you to pick the one that you feel like you're kind of the most proud of. You want to brag a little bit, like, I'm proud of this win. I'm proud of this number. Like, this feels good. And again, just unmute yourself when you're ready. Share your win.
My win is my spiritual. I feel like I am pretty in touch with my intuition and my guidance. Now, I do need to say that I don't always follow the guidance. I'm not always acting on the guidance, which of course is a whole other thing. But I do listen and I do feel the guidance often.
That's beautiful, Annie. I love that. And how great is that to just be able to witness yourself and say, I hear it a lot. Doesn't mean I'm always following it, to the T. And that's okay. This spiritual intuition part isn't about doing it perfectly. It's not about always getting it right. But what we're doing is we're seeing if we can turn up the volume on the intuition so you can start to listen to your own intuition and guidance system. Because what it will do is it will create and build trust, self-trust. We doubt ourselves a lot. We doubt ourselves, we second guess ourselves. But when you dial in and you start listening to your intuition, you can start to trust yourself more. Because here's the thing, no one else on this earth, not one person is here to do it the way that you do it. Not one person. And when I'm going to say we, because I'm here with you in this, when we're trying to well, how did this person do this? Or how did they market themselves? Or how do they go about leading their team? Or how do they, have a great relationship? Or how do they parent or fill in the blank? There's a lot of comparison. We're trying to fit ourselves into that mold. But the truth is there will always be a disconnect. Always. You'll always feel like you're not quite doing it good enough because you're in comparison to somebody else. But when you can turn on your intuition and listen, you at least know this is for me. And then the practice is the more you listen and the more you go, oh yeah, there's a thing here. So I love that. Thanks, Annie, for sharing. Who else wants to share when? Robbie, you want to share your win?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't talk today.
Okay. Fair enough.
Thank you.
Yep. I appreciate you using your voice and asking for what you need. If you
Thank
decide you want to drop the win in the chat, go for it. If not, thanks for being here.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else want to share a win?
I'll share.
Thanks.
So I have a bunch of sevens. For the spiritual, the reason that that's a win is because I really took what we talked about last week, the masculine and the feminine, and I've been playing with that this week and noticing when I'm dropping into self and when I'm looking for external support and not judging it, simply observing it. And today it's raining outside, and so it was very easy to gravitate towards the masculine, oh, I'm connected because it's raining, but to really redirect myself to focus within and recognize that side as well. So that is a win for me there. And then for the emotional, is a win because I'm purposefully encouraging myself to feel what I'm feeling in the moment rather than shy away from it. Like actually saying, wait, stop. Okay, what are we feeling right now? And so the practice, I think, is a win. I don't know about if I think that the number is a win or where I'm feeling is a win, but that I'm practicing is my win.
It is a win. Thank you. And I want to even relate this to Rob's saying, hey, you know what? I don't know if I'm in a place that I want to talk today. This, my friends, is you taking ownership of your emotions and saying, you know what? Ugh, maybe it feels a little messy. Maybe it doesn't feel like it's perfect. Maybe I don't feel like I'm on the way I think I should be on, or maybe it doesn't look the way I think it's supposed to look, or I don't know if I can show up in this, right? How often do we wait? Do we wait until it looks a certain way, or until I've gotten myself to a place that I can be presentable, or whatever it is, right? And with the emotion of judging it, of whoa, okay, what's going on with this emotion? My friends, the emotional pillar in self-mastery is really vulnerable, really vulnerable. We've been brought up in a world where we've only been able to feel the positive without being rejected. I'm going to say that again. We only have been allowed to say, I'm happy, I'm good, even okay, without being rejected. I'm not going to spend too much time here, but I want you to know I've had a pretty challenging couple of months emotionally with my oldest, Savannah. And the amount of people that have withdrawn themselves out of my life because my light is not as bright as it has been or that they're used to has been surprising. They do not know what to do with me feeling such big, heavy emotion because I am who I am, and you get all of me. And it feels too much for some people. It feels too much, and that's okay. That's actually okay. When we allow ourselves to be fully in the emotion of what is happening in our lives, it can feel a lot for people, and it's not always welcomed. So I want to honor you for feeling. And I also want you to know that we have to feel it to heal it. If we do not allow ourselves to feel, we will store the emotion in our body, and on a cellular level, it will stay there. And if we do not address it, it will manifest itself as dis-ease in the body. Dis-ease. It can be weight, it can be pain, it can be inflammation, it can be an autoimmune disease. Okay? So it's brave to be able to say, oh, it's bubbling up. I'm feeling it. Here it is. Oh, I don't think I should talk. But I'm feeling it and I'm letting it flow. Okay? So congratulations for doing something that's really hard that most people don't. And it's really easy to grab a pill. It's really easy to self-soothe, to get away from that feeling because I don't like this. It's uncomfortable. I don't want to feel this way. I want it to go away. Oh, like just not this, not this, not this. I don't have time for this. This isn't how I planned my day to go. This is inconvenient. I need this to go away. I need it to stop. But I just want to congratulate and honor you and celebrate you for letting yourself feel it, because when you do, it will move through you and it will move out of you. And if you need to scream and if you need to cry and if you need to whatever, just do it. Like, just give yourself the opportunity to do it. And men have been taught that it's okay to feel angry, but that's about it. It's about it. You can be angry, but that's about it. Don't be too sensitive. And women, don't you dare feel angry, right? You don't get to do that. You can be sensitive. You can be crazy. She's crazy, right? But it's an interesting thing to observe. So I just want to honor all of us in this moment. This is why we're here. This is why we show up. There's a curriculum for you online in the portal that you can dive deep into all of the information. These weekly calls are for me to give you this much information, but it's about showing up authentically in the moment. Like, what are we here? What's life giving us? What's coming at us? Let's talk about it. So thank you. I honor you. I appreciate that. Anyone want to share kind of your low, like where you feel like you might be struggling? And if you don't want to, that's okay. I'm going to ask you to do this. I want you to look at your numbers and I want you to find your low. And I want you to close your eyes for a moment or just be with yourself. Look at your body. If your eyes aren't closed, just look at your body. And I want you to ask yourself, what is one thing I can do? What is one thing I can do for myself today to increase that number just by one? So take your low. What's one thing you can do to allow yourself and then give it to yourself, because no one else will. No one else will. And if you're waiting for permission, here it is. If you need it, I'll give it to you, but you don't need permission. You just get to allow yourself to just be in the process of life. And life is messy, but what you can control is giving yourself one thing that you need, one thing that you need to help you feel just a little bit better or a little bit more connected or a little bit more in tune, okay? Everybody got your one thing you get to give yourself? Thumbs up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for having your cameras on. Okay, let's talk about physical. Let's talk about your physical body, okay? And why physical self-care is so important. Physical self-care is where most people start. Most people, when you think about physical, it's like, oh yeah, I'm aware of my body. I'm aware of exercise. I'm aware of food. I know I need more sleep. I know I need more hydration, okay? We know those things. We know those things. Here's why it's important. The physical body, like I said before, your physical body is what holds the vessel. If you are sleep deprived, I want you to notice something. I want you to notice when you have your worst habits of eating. I have a theory. I've been practicing it recently. And every time I want to eat shitty, y'all, it's because I'm tired. It's very interesting. I've kind of worked through the stress part of it because that was one, and that is one for sure. When you feel stressed, when you feel alone, when there's a certain kind of feeling or a void, or you need something, oftentimes we go to the thing that feels soothing, and it feels great in the moment. But then the shame cycle and the guilt and the thing happens, right? But I want you to be aware of sleep and how it affects your brain and how it affects your cravings. Sleep is really, really important. When we talk about sleep, if you will turn your electronic off and put it away for 1 hour before you go to sleep, you will fall asleep easier. It's really simple. But how many of us have your phone beside your bedside on the bedside table, and you're looking at it while you're laying in the bed, and probably within 10 minutes of really going to sleep, you've been on your phone. So again, this isn't rocket science, but the sun goes down when the sun goes down. But because we are an evolved species, which is kind of ironic that I'm even saying this, but we have light. We can turn on lights, and the lights stay on. And it's not until the lights start to go down that our body starts to get the signal that it's time to slow down. It's time to relax. This sleep thing is interesting to me because I've felt like if I can figure out how to help people sleep, I'll be a billionaire. How many people struggle with sleep? Everyone that I know struggles with sleep. And I'm really convinced that if you can start to dim your lights, turn your lights down. If you have kids, it's a great way to signal to kids without even saying, hey, it's bedtime. Just start turning the lights down. Start turning lights off in your house. Start dimming lights. I also will start whispering a little bit. I'll bring my volume down. Just start talking a little bit quieter at night. Kind of just brings everything down. So when it comes to sleep, if you are sleep deprived, you are not going to function at a high capacity. Okay? Your brain's not going to work as well. You might have irritability. You might be overly emotional for things that might a little more sensitive. That's a good word. And your productivity is not going to be what it could be. So when it comes to sleep, I want to challenge you all to turn off your electronic and put it down. That blue light that is shining back at you is signaling to your brain that it is not time to go to sleep. So you wonder why when you put it down, you can't just fall asleep 15 minutes later. Well, your brain still thinks it's daylight. but you're trying to like turn off a switch and say go to bed and it's not ready. Okay. So that's one thing. Sleep matters. Sleep is important. If you want quality sleep, you need to create an environment to let your body, let your mind relax. Turn down the lights, do the things that you need to do, turn on soothing music. We're going to talk about meditation. My favorite type of meditation at night is a guided meditation. There are 3 kinds of meditations I'm going to go over with you and talk to you about. There's a silent meditation that I love to do in the afternoon between like 2 and 4. Usually there's so much going on in my mind during the afternoon between 2 and 4. It's like input, 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 input all day. So by the time the afternoon comes, it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm like short circuiting. So the silent meditation is really great. There's also a visualization meditation, which I love. That's a great one to do in the morning, right? You visualize your day, how you're going to feel, what you're going to be doing. And it's a really beautiful guided meditation, or visualization meditations are great in the morning. But at night, I love a guided meditation. Okay. Because guess what? You don't have to think. It's like somebody singing you a lullaby. They're just guiding you to relax your toes and relax your legs and relax your belly. And what you're hearing, what you're taking in is this relaxation meditation. If you've got someone in the bed with you, turn it on and play it out loud. You can both listen to it. But practice if you need some support with falling asleep at night or going to bed at night, turn on that guided meditation and let it kind of guide you into relaxation and into sleep, and being guided and into that. Movement, physical movement. You might or might not have chosen your physical blueprint pillar for physical to be movement. But one hack that I have that I'm going to share with all of you, and if you've been around long enough, you know this, I'm going to encourage you when you get a phone call to start walking. You don't have to get on a treadmill. You don't have to go to a gym. It's kind of cold outside. You might not want to go outside, but I'm just going to encourage you to just walk while you're on the phone. The phone rings, you look at it and you go, oh, great. I wanted to talk to that person. Pick up the phone, just start walking, start moving your body. You'll be on a 10-minute phone call, and the next thing you know, you've just like moved your body and gotten in some really good movement. Also, when you move your body, your brain moves. Your mind moves. So it's really great, right? Move your body, move your mind, get yourself moving. You'll be unstuck. You actually might even move through some emotions, move through some feelings. Move your body. If your body is stagnant and stuck and you are sitting, you are going to stay in the same mindset and emotional state because you're stagnant and you're not moving. If you want to shift your mind and you want to shift your emotions and the way you're feeling, move your body. Go move your body. You can walk around your house. You can go walk outside, but just there's some little hacks that you can do for your physical body and movement that don't look like, oh my gosh, I got to go do this thing that I hate doing, that I've got to punish myself because I haven't been moving my body. My invitation to you is to be kind to your body. We are so critical of our bodies because they don't look the way we think they should look. So be kind, speak nicely. Your cells in your body respond to what you say. Have you ever seen the experiment that they do with the water in the Petri dishes? Have y'all seen that? Right? I mean, literally, I hate you, you're ugly, criticism, and that water is like, it's like they freeze it and it's just like ick, mucky. And then they've got the same water in a Petri dish that it's like, you're beautiful, you shine, you're smart, and they freeze it and they're like snowflakes. That is the power of your words. So speak kindly to your body. Don't lie to yourself. If there's a part of your body that you don't feel awesome about, don't lie to yourself. Maybe just don't focus on that right now. Focus on the things that you like. Focus on the part of your body that you like. So I want you to write down a part of your body right now that you really like, that you feel great about. It could be your eyes. It could be your smile. It could be your hair. It could be your hands. And I want you to speak kindly to it. I want you to focus on that. I invite you right now to look at your hands. I want you to look at your hands for a minute. Look at your hands. Both hands. Look at your hands. I want you to think about all of the things that your hands have done. Think about the little ones' hands that you've held, or the babies that you've held, the diapers that you've changed, the dishes that you've washed, the meals you've prepared. When you look at your hands, I want you to think of the gratitude for all the things these hands have done for you. It's really easy to look at your hands, especially as we get older, and criticize them and go, oh my gosh, these look like my grandmother's or my mom's hands. But instead, I want you to just notice, like, thank you. Thank you for all. I oftentimes, I kind of, think about my kiddos, or I think about like the hands that I've held, or the meals that I've cooked, the things that I've created with my hands. I just want you to look at your hands for a moment and just feel some gratitude. More kindness, more gratitude, more gentleness for your physical body. I want to take a moment to talk about food, which I know can be a sensitive subject, especially when we've been told there's good food, bad food, the right food, the wrong food, scary foods. When you think about and when you eat today, I'm going to invite you to activate your senses when you eat. Another thing, put down your phone. Don't be on electronics when you eat. When you're on electronics and you're eating, your focus is on the electronic, not letting your body feel the sensation of satisfaction and fulfillment of food, because you're distracted. So as you're eating, put your phone away, take a bite, close your eyes, and swirl it in your mouth. Taste it, experience it, enjoy it. It will change your experience eating with food. Do not drive and eat. That's such a thing, right? It's like, oh, let me go through fast food. I'm just going to like go there. I'm going to drive there. I'm going to eat while I'm doing 5 other things. And it's like, how much did I even eat? Was that burger even good? It's already gone. The fries are almost gone. Do I feel satisfied? There's a disconnect. There's a disconnect. So I'm going to invite you to just start connecting. Use food as fuel and let it be satisfying. Enjoy it. Take a moment to savor it. Swirl it in your mouth. Now, this is a little bit of a touchy subject, but I feel like I'm going to say it because it's coming up. So I used to pray over my food for a long time, for most of my life. And in the last 10 years, I kind of quit praying, especially when it came to food. And even when I pray, sometimes it's like, how am I going to start this prayer? Right? And what is this like? But what if you could give some gratitude? Just thank you for the people that grew the food, for the hands that picked it, that got it to you, that shipped it, that stocked it on the shelves in the grocery store, that bagged it. Bringing in a sense of gratitude to slow down. Just slow it down. Just slow down. And give yourself some gratitude for the food, gratitude for your body, savoring it. And who cares what you've done before right now? The past is the past. It actually doesn't even matter. It does you no good, zero to think about anything that happened before right now. You already know what you know. This is a conversation that you know better than I do, or as well as I do, talking about the physical body. You know what to eat. You know what not to eat. Listen to your body. If it's not agreeable, eat less of it. There's no diet that's a miracle diet. Food is fuel. What really matters is the way you think about it, what you're telling yourself about it, the energy that you're giving it. And this is a practice. And the gratitude piece is really, really beautiful because you start to change your relationship that you have with the food that you're eating. Okay. So we've talked about physical movement. We've talked about the food that you eat. We've talked about sleep. The last thing I want to talk about is hydration. You want to be drinking half your weight in ounces of water a day. It's a good guide. Okay. So however much you weigh, half it. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. If you're not drinking that much water a day, I encourage you to just start. And the best thing you can do is go buy yourself a freaking awesome water bottle that you love, that you're like, I love this water bottle. I like the way it fits in my center console. I like carrying it around with me. I want it to have a handle. I don't want it to have a handle. I want to chug it. I want to drink it out of a straw. It doesn't matter. Find a water bottle that you like, that you want to fill up a couple of times a day, and you want to hydrate your body and give your body water. Hydration, water, you are 70 to 80% water. When you wake up in the morning, you are dehydrated. Your brain is dehydrated. The best thing you can do first thing in the morning is drink 12 ounces of water. It hydrates your brain and it will help you with focus and clarity. You do not need a pill. You need water. So when you wake up in the morning, the very first thing you do is hydrate yourself with 12 ounces of water. If you have a tongue scraper, scrape your tongue first. And if you haven't, we'll talk about tongue scraping. But tongue scraping is huge because of all the bacteria and all the things that are on your tongue, and you scrape all that off so that you're not swallowing water and putting that bacteria back in your belly. That's why a lot of people are sick. That's why there's a lot of gut problems. So tongue scraping. I'll drop the tongue scraping video. Y'all might laugh, but I'll drop the tongue scraping video. I'm going to create an Instagram group with all of us. And I'll drop the tongue scraping, okay? So we don't have to go into too much time here. But drink 12 ounces of water first thing when you wake up. The very, very first thing. If you're drinking coffee first thing in the morning, if you're drinking anything else, just drink water. Put a glass by your sink if you need to, or a water bottle by your bed. 12 ounces of water. And again, it'll hydrate your brain. So it'll just naturally help you start to think better and feel better and kind of wake you up. There are lots of ways that you can take care of your physical body. My invitation to you is I want you to choose one, not all. One thing we've talked about today that you're going to incorporate. Just pick one. Just pick one. It might be I'm going to slow down, and the first bite of anything I eat, I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to chew it 20 times. I'm going to swirl it in my mouth. I'm going to think about how grateful I am for it. I'm going to just like totally have a mouthgasm with that bite. Or you can say, you know what? Haven't been great at the hydration. I'm going to drink 12 ounces of water every morning. Or you can say, I'm going to put my phone down. An hour before bed, I'm not going to be on my phone, and I'm going to turn lights down. I want you to pick one, just one, to practice this week. Okay? Don't get too overwhelmed. Just one at a time. We're in this mastery program for 12 weeks. You got plenty of time to add in the other ones. So just start with one. Just want you to do one thing, okay? Thank you for showing up today. If you are feeling like you need some support, some additional support, reach out to me. I see you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for turning your cameras on. Thank you for choosing you and making yourself a priority. If you haven't already, jump in the portal. There's a lot of stuff I did not go over, and module 2 for the physical body is really awesome. In fact, y'all, I printed it off and I didn't talk about any of it, but it's really good and you'll love it. Okay. And it talks about some different things that you can do. Okay. And the small things and daily things and like some different ideas there. In fact, there's even a little question thing here of like listing 3 things that you're grateful for about your body and different things like that. So you can go deeper here, but I don't want to take up more time than is allotted for. So thank you for showing up. And I will see you next Wednesday. And also check out and look for a group chat coming. Everybody in Instagram? You all good Instagrammers? Okay, great. I'll see you in Instagram. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Bye, everyone.